funny, don't tell her or anyone that she's illegal. Joy Phillips.
I didn't even know I was illegal. It's news to me. I'm not.
You're not. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Jory. I am very tall. I know at least somebody out there is thinking that, like, wow. I didn't wear heels tonight because I didn't want to have to fight any other tall women. I don't know if you know that's a thing. It's like to establish like who's the alpha. You have to. It's a real thing. Trust me. So I don't know if you guys have heard the rumor. You know, it's going around the festival a little bit. People are talking about it. I am an immigrant. Hello. Boom. Get out. It is a hot button topic. I do realize it is a very, very terrible time to try and move to the United States. I'm very aware of that. Like, people come up to me on a daily basis and like get down on my level and they're like, do you need help? Like, do you need to get home? Can I buy you a ticket? I am okay, I promise. It's fine. I am Canadian. I don't know if you could hear that from the buzz in the room, or you could just tell from like the glow coming off of my pale, pale skin. It's pretty fun being a Canadian in America because nobody actually knows that you're an immigrant, which is pretty nice because right now it's not very fun to be an immigrant, honestly. I have it a lot better than a lot of my other immigrant friends. But you know what I don't have? I can't call them my immigrant friends in public. That's not fair. Nobody wants to hear a young white woman refer to people as her immigrant friends. Okay? That's not cool. It's like, have you met Richard? He's my black friend. I like to talk about him like that because it makes me feel worldly. It's like, no, nobody wants to hear that. I'm just trying to say we're all part of the same club. Oh God, I forgot where I was. It's cool. I brought key cards. Yeah, so it's funny too that people will say things to me, you know, because I appear like I'm American. Sometimes when I'm at my job, people will say things like, you know, the Mexicans stealing all the jobs from the Americans as I'm working the job that I've stolen from an American. And like, how do you respond to that? Other than like, that's terribly racist and would you like fries? Like, I don't know what you want to come out of that situation. But people tend to, they get that I'm like an immigrant and I'm not from here, but they kind of forget that Canada is a separate country. It is. We're like up there somewhere. I get it. We're like the weird cousin. Nobody really talks about us. We're not in the Christmas card. You only think about us when you want like fresh water or political asylum or something like that. And the thing is too is that like Canada could take them. I don't know if you guys think about this very often. I do all the time. But Canada is huge. It's a big country with a very small population. Like the population of California is larger than the population of Canada by 3 million people. Wrap your head around that for a second. That is insane. I looked it up. There's like a list of countries. US is third in terms of population. Like, congratulations, you guys can fuck. You can make babies. Like, you got this. You're going global. Canada is 37. Yeah! We're trying. We're trying so hard. I'm just leaving. I'm going off the stage. So the weird thing about that is people will say stuff like, man, Grass Valley is such a small town, and I just want to shake them and be like, you don't know what a small town is. Like, trust me. I grew up on an island with 1,000 people. Okay, that is a rock in the middle of the ocean with a population of a small high school. And there's no bridge. This is a ferry that shuts off at 11. You are locked with these people. That is the first 18 years of my life. Like, it is so small. You don't get that thing where, you know, there's someone you don't know, like a stranger. That doesn't happen. You ever have that conversation, you run into somebody and you're like, oh my God, you know Jenny? I know Jenny. And then you keep talking, you're like, we have the same dentist. How crazy. That doesn't happen. You know these people from when they are in diapers until the point that they are in diapers. It's serious. Stepping on my cord. It's so small that you don't even get to gossip. You don't get secrets. Like, if you hear something juicy, like your friend calls you up and they're like, oh my God, y'all never guess what happened. And you're like, what? And also, why do you have that accent? We're in Canada. You'll never guess. I saw Joey and Johnny kissing. Oh my God, that's crazy. You hang up the phone, you walk outside, there are 2 people on your porch. They're like, Joey and Johnny, huh? You hear about that? There's no neighbors. Like, they came from miles away. This is a very rural place. I keep forgetting what I'm talking about. I'm so distracted tonight. So I brought my boyfriend home this Christmas for the first time, and I didn't know how to prepare him for it. Because, like, how do you prepare somebody for that? So, like, the first day that we're there, we walk into the downtown and we go to the store. And it is the one store. I just want you guys to be aware of that. It is the store. And we walk in there, and the shopkeeper's standing there, and he's like, oh my God, hi, Jory, how are you? We missed you. How's California? You look so tan. Things like that. And then he just turns, and he looks at my boyfriend, and he goes, oh, and you must be Bo. How's California? I hear your guys' car broke down on Halloween. You know, that's crazy. When an alternator goes like that, sometimes you just gotta get rid of the whole thing. I'm glad you decided to buy a new one. And then he just stands there. Like, that wasn't super weird. Like, knowing personal, everyday details of somebody who lives 1,000 miles away who you have never met is, like, totally an okay thing to do. And then we leave the store, and it happens, like, 3 more times. How was I supposed to prepare him for that? Just like, well, honey, just so you know, like, my entire hometown will have, like, Facebook stalked you. Like, worse than any ex-girlfriend you've ever had. Like, they're gonna know your first kiss, your sexual preferences, what you had for dinner, and then they're gonna ask you about it? Like, it's not weird. I mean, I'm used to it at this point, but I guess that it's kind of an odd thing. That is one of the reasons why I didn't date the entire time that I was living there. The other reason is there was only 12 people in my graduating class. Yeah, I don't care what you're into, that's incest. You see these people from when they are in kindergarten to braces, all the way to just terrible, terrible life choices. You can't erase that, you know? And what happens? You find somebody you like, you're like, I think you're kind of cute. Like, let's be alone together. So you hike like 6 miles into the forest. You find this like perfect blend, and it's like soft focus, and there's birds with ribbons and music for some reason. And you're like ready. You're like, this is it. This is the kiss, right? So you close your eyes and you're leaning in. Your lips are just about to touch, and then you remember that when they were 7, they fell over backwards into a pile of dog shit and went all the way up their hair. And people called them shithead for like years. And you're standing there with that realization, and then you remember that when you were 13, you pissed your pants and you had to borrow a shirt from them? I mean, you can't be intimate with a person like that. You know everything. So obviously you leave, right? You hike your 6 miles back out of the forest, and there will be somebody just walking on up the path, just, you know, heard about that first kiss. That wasn't good. Sorry about that. Where did you come from? I'm making it sound like it's all bad. I promise it's not all bad. There's a lot of really good things about growing up on a small, isolated rock in the middle of the ocean. And one of them is that you realize very young that you have no future there. That's a good thing. I mean, you grow up in Grass Valley, like at some point in your life, you're going to be like, do I leave Grass Valley or do I stay here? Like, do I raise a family? Like, my family's here. But do I go and do something with my life? You don't get to have that thought. There are no jobs in this place. Okay, there's like 6 jobs and they are taken. You have 2 options. You either leave and make something of yourself, or you stay and you live in a tent on the beach and you eat only fish that you catch yourself. And you wait for one of those 6 people to die. And then when they're dead, you have to fight the other 994 people for a chance to stock shelves at the store. Your problem. So I've been coming back and forth between like the cold place and the warm place for about like 4 years now, and I'm finally starting to feel comfortable, because it's funny, there's not a huge culture shock when you're coming from Canada to the United States. I mean, like, we call it pop, you call it soda, we're both drinking way too much sugar and not acknowledging it. It's pretty similar, you know? But the one thing that like really freaked me out is that in Canada, it is illegal to not let somebody use the bathroom in your store. Doesn't matter what store it is. If they come in, they're like, I have to pee, you're like, after you, sir. That is not the case here. I did I mean, here, if you have to go to the bathroom and you have a doctor's note, you can maybe fight your way in there. But for everybody else, your bladder and your bowels are in the hands of somebody who is making minimum wage, and they don't care. They don't care at all. I learned this the hard way. I went to visit a friend of mine in New York, and I got in really late, and he was like, yeah, you can stay at my house. You know, my roommate's here, he's sleeping, you might see him tomorrow, here's the key, I'll be out tomorrow. So I got the key, and the next day I was like, oh, explore New York. Went, did Times Square, I'm walking around, it was pretty cool. Kind of grungy in real life, but it was cool. And I'm walking around, and I suddenly get that feeling. You know that feeling where you're like, if I don't get to a bathroom like right now, I'm going to shit my pants. Like, there is no time between then and like disaster. And of all the places to inexplicably shit your pants, Times Square is really not the worst. Like, I feel like they've seen that before. Like, they call that Monday, that's not a big deal. So I'm looking around, I see McDonald's, and of course McDonald's everywhere let you use their bathroom. So I run in there, and like anybody else who has ever used a McDonald's bathroom, I leave my dignity behind. And when I come out a couple minutes later, I'm like, I'm going home. That's it. I'm getting on the train. I'm going to go back to my friend's house. Like, it's too real. And I get on the train, probably about 10 minutes out from his house, and I feel it again. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what do I do? Like, can I poop in a bag and push it under the seat? Like, will people notice? And like, this is New York, so there's a chance I could get away with it, So I'm seriously debating it. And we pull into the station. I just like run out there, and there's no bathrooms anywhere. And so I run down the street, like down the stairs onto the street. I get there and I look around and I realize I don't know where my friend's house is. I don't know his address. Like, I know that it was on this street, like over here, but I have no idea where he lives. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go into a store, right? And I turn and I just go into the first store that I see, and it's this little like Chinese deli. And I run in there and I look the lady right in the eye and I'm like, I need to use her bathroom now! And she just looks at me like straight face, like, no bathroom. What do you mean, no bathroom? And I'm not asking you a question. I need to use your bathroom now! And she looks at me again like it's not affecting her at all. And she's like, no bathroom. So I'm really stumped. I'm like, do I just pull down my pants here? Like, is this what my life has come to? So I run back out onto the street. And I get onto the street that I know that his house is on. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to New York, but they have these houses called brownstone houses that all look identical. Well, that's what I was looking for. I must have tried 7 of them. I'm covered in sweat. It was like a horror movie. And I finally got the key to go into a door, and I open it and I run in there, and I pass his roommate, who of course has not met me, probably didn't even know I was there. And as I pass him, I just go, hey, oh my God, I'm so sorry, my name is Tori, please forgive me. I just shut the bathroom door. The moral of the story, folks, is that pooping your pants is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter what country you are in, it doesn't matter where you are from, everybody will do it, everybody has done it, and it is just as embarrassing no matter where you are. Like, I dare you, after this, go up to one of your friends and just be like, hey man, like, I pooped my pants, let me tell you about it. They will have a story. They will have a story for you. Thank you guys